All right, we are back. Welcome to the Nets watch along. It is game number 70, and it is the Nets taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. And this is going to be, well, a cracking game if you're a Milwaukee supporter, because I think you go into this one with pretty high hopes you'll win. Um, from a Nets perspective, they probably are just holding out for the season to end, to be completely honest. At least I know that's the sort of mentality that I'm taking. The Nets lost the other day. The Nets lost the other day to the New Orleans Pelicans. They lost pretty convincingly. I mean, the game was done and dusted by the third quarter. Danny, welcome to the stream. Miracle Tree, welcome as well. It was a pretty comprehensive victory in the end for the New Orleans Pelicans. I mean, it wasn't really our defense, because only shipped off the 104 points in the second half. The Pelicans sort of slowed up on offense, but it was the first half where the damage was really done, and we were down 20 and chasing tail yet again. Chris Middleton is out for Milwaukee. He did play yesterday, but he's just coming back off injury. So they've brought Giannis back in after a 2-game absence, but Middleton out. So Beasley, Lillard, Giannis, Crowder, and Lopez starting. If you're wondering why the hell these caricatures are here, NBA Paint, the Twitter account, is responsible for the Bucks art, I believe, for this starting lineup presentation. The Nets are missing Dorian Finney-Smith today, so Cam Johnson's getting the start, and I'm not looking forward to that because he's just not tall enough. He's just not. And Mikal's a twig as well. He can't box out. Basically, it's a great recipe to concede 15 offensive rebounds and lose the game ultimately. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, this is going to be really, I just look at these games. I mean, the last 10 games are pretty empty for the Nets. I mean, we've lost 6 of our last 7 games. Would the Nets still lose to the Bucks if they were stick figures? You know what? They probably would. It seems like the Nets can't beat anyone at the moment. They probably couldn't even beat a pack of kindergartners. Honestly, they probably play better team basketball than this team, or probably more capable of making shots, which is something the team just continuously does not know how to do. Speaking of which, I'm sort of sick and tired of that happening. So Nets game, we're going to be missing the next 3 Nets games. 2 of them I can't get to. Well, all 3 I can't get to, but one of them is on one of my off days. But it's at 4 a.m, so I can't get to it. So instead, I'm going to do maybe 1 or 2 neutral games over the weekend. Wow, the Wizards trailed or led 5 minutes ago by 19. They're now all tied up. So we're going to do a couple neutral games over the weekend, hopefully. The first one is tomorrow, and we're going to be covering Cleveland, Minnesota. That is going to be a cracking game. Even though Mitchell is out, Gobert and Towns out for the Timberwolves. But still some pretty good players taking to the court. So if you want to tune in for that, make sure to do so. But yeah, that's basically the plan, because I want to be able to enjoy a little bit of basketball in the back end of the season when it's supposed to be heating up, actually. So, I'm sort of interested to see what sort of performance we get from those 2 teams tomorrow, because they are fighting for spots. It's going to be for sure very interesting to see what sort of Nets version we get today. Cam Thomas has had a cracking period of form. He is currently, since his return on the 9th of March, he's got a +8 net rating, and Mikal Bridges has a -10. He is not, well, in 14 games since the All-Star break, he has not shot more than 45% in 12 of the 14 games. And that's probably why the record very much correlates with those 2 games where he did perform. So, yeah. I think it's pretty clear, like, yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's something called DPM, and I don't exactly know what it means, but Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Nic Claxton, and Dorian Finney-Smith, their value has gone, like, it's taken a steep dive. It's pretty shocking. But, you know, at least Cam Thomas is showing something. Blowout 102, 125, maybe. Yeah, I'm interested I'm just interested to see, because they talk about the same shit post game every game. Apparently they had a players only meeting. They still lose games because they can't make shots. I mean, it's very much it's just going to be a matter of whether the team rocks up or not, which they just have not done more often than not. Noah Clowney's been called up to the first team, which is good because he's been balling out in the G League. So, look, I want to see some minutes with him in the game, honestly. Like, some meaningful NBA minutes, because when he's played, he has not been that bad. I think there was minutes against Minnesota he played when we played them away from home, I think. Just some really good sort of opportunities. I hope one of those situations arises today where he plays. I don't know why we hold him out. This game's about to get underway, and it's won by the Nets in the jump ball. And here we go. So Thomas, Johnson, Bridges, Schroeder, Claxton, and then for the Bucks, Lillard, Giannis, Beasley, Lopez, Crowder. Bridges open 3 in the corner. It's off. So you know what? That's just an indicator that he's not going to play well. One shot in, and I have no optimism whatsoever. Dame, good screen by Giannis. Open 3, Dame. It rims out. The board by CT. And 11 and a half to play. 2 possessions elapsed. And Thomas with possession here. He's going to get into the paint. He's going to bump bodies and score in the mid-range. First points on the board for the Nets. 2-0. So, I did watch this Bucks team last week. They played Philly. Had a slow start. Where the fuck is Dame throwing that? He's thrown it about 4 foot above Giannis's head. And he's tall enough already, Giannis. So, that just goes to show how far off the mark that pass was by Dame. So, Dame has already turned the ball over and missed a shot. So, Nets can start well here with a couple of early buckets. Here's Thomas guarded by Beasley. And now the pass out to Schroeder. Jab step. Thomas, pump fake. Gets through. Runner. And he scores over Lopez for 2. A 4-0 Nets. Cam Thomas, the only player to have scored. Giannis muscles his way to the basket. And it looks like Claxton may have that assignment. Well, no shit, because who else do we have? Cam Johnson. Bridges. Schroeder. High screen. Bounce pass to Clax on the roll. And he wasn't fouled. And Giannis got the block. And now he's going to run the break. Crowder's open in the corner. That is a terrible bit of defense by Mikal. He just allowed Crowder to bypass. And it was a regulation floater for him. For all. High screen and switch. Lopez guarding Johnson. Thomas now picked up by Lillard. 6 to shoot. Stutter step. Step back 3. It's off. And the board by Giannis, who protects the landing space well. Dame. Giannis the drive, the spin, the layup, the score, +1. That is so incredibly tough to stop. He's an absolute wrecking ball, honestly. Like, even for the agility or the, should I say, mobility of Claxton, he wasn't able to keep up there. Like, that spin move was pretty fucking damaging, if I'm being honest. Are you willing to say it wasn't JV now? Well, it was, because he was dog water. But that's... I never disputed that. I mean, I said JV was one of the first pieces of the puzzle that needed to fall. But there's so many other things within the organization that, you know, need to be held to account. It's not enough. Yeah, like there's so many more things on top that need to be addressed in the off-season. With every game we play, the only optimistic thing about it is we get one step closer to the... Yeah, we get one step closer to the potential changes that could be made. The potential, you know, organization-altering moves that could be made. Schroeder step back 3. I mean, that's just really shit offense. We didn't even test the paint once. The Bucks have scored 7 in a row, and then Giannis throws it away. So 7-4. Couple of turnovers early for Milwaukee. And the Nets trail by 3 early going. They scored the first 2 baskets through Cam Thomas, but no one else really wants to make a shot. Here's Thomas. Lob. Claxton had to grab it and bring it down, so he has to roll it back out of Cam Johnson, and now the switch. Johnson step back 2. Mate, that is just a terrible shot again. The shot selection is so shit. Crowded to Lopez. The 3 is off. The board by Bridges. I don't know why I'm so far behind the broadcast at the moment. I'll even things out at the timeout. Claxton. Schroeder into the paint. Lob. Great feed. Open man was Claxton as Lopez rolled across. It was an easy, uncontested jam for Claxton. Giannis in the corner picked up by Claxton. Gonna take it inside. Spin move. Step back 2. It's off. It's the front of the rim. And now the Nets down 1. 4 minutes gone first quarter. Schroeder will be guarded by Jay Crowder, and now Thomas picked up by Dame. Gets inside. There's the foul. And we're going to get free throws here for Cam Thomas. And this is a great opportunity for me to even things up. Cam Thomas makes both. And the Bucks now trail by 1. Giannis in the middle. The Nets playing a bit of zone, but what sort of zone is it when you're leaving Dame wide open? He did not shoot the 3, though. He's got it here. That being said, they got 4 to shoot, and Cam Thomas is guarding one-on-one. Dame takes it inside. The body bump. Didn't get the bounce. Couldn't get the rebound. Then it bobbled out, and the Nets got the ball. Johnson to the trailer, which is Schroeder, will swing it cross court to Johnson, who's ready to fire, and that's off as well. What the fuck is the point of having these guys on the court if they can't make their shots? So many open looks already in this game. Great find to Brook Lopez under the basket, who threw it down with one hand over Claxton, who was late on the rotation. It was a good little pass to the roller there. Bridges to the corner for Johnson. Schroeder, it was knocked away by Jay Crowder, who cut it off, and we're going to get our first time out of the game. And the Nets are down 9-8. It's been a pretty sort of offensively lacking first quarter. I honestly don't know how you summon the strength to keep doing these streams. It just, for some reason, this team keeps drawing me back. I think it's just out of habit at this point. So, yeah, I honestly couldn't give you an answer to that question, to be quite honest. But the Nets have started... giving away a few easy ones, but, I mean, we're getting a few stops early. Problem is, you got Cam Johnson in the starting lineup, as a replacement. And if you're going to play small ball 4, he's got to be able to make his shots. And he's had quite a few open looks early and has just been absolute shit. 3 shots, 2 misses. Or all 3 misses. We're 3 of 10. Haven't made a 3. The only real good player out of that mix is Cam Thomas, who's 2 of 3. And I put him in the spotlight because, quite frankly, I don't really think anyone else is worthy of getting in the spotlight at this point of the season because they can't do, well, really anything. Schroeder's made 2 dimes early, which is nice, I guess. And then for the Bucks, Giannis got 5, 2 boards, 1 dime, a couple of turnovers for the Bucks early on. They are shooting 4 of 9. So they lead off the back of, well, having an extra field goal made with 1 less free throw. That's basically it. There's not much to really separate this team early on, but I thought it'd be, well, a decent idea to keep you guys aware of who scored the buckets early. I really don't know why the game is a little bit laggy this morning. Like it's doing a little bit of buffering, which is a bit frustrating. So, Cam Thomas in the last 6 games, per the Yes Network feed, 20 points in the last 6 games. In each of the last 6 games for CT, he's averaging 26.5 points, 5 boards, 3 dimes, and he's shooting the 3 ball at 40.5%, which is a cracking percentage. It's a pity that no other net knows how to really play basketball in that time. Mikal Bridges is the starting point of all this. We simply cannot win games because this flog cannot make shots. It's just, here he is on cue. Let's see what he can do, but I don't have any faith. He passes it off to Schroeder, who drives and puts one up. Did not get the whistle, and the Bucks can really push the pace here. It's a 5-on-4. Beasley, what is Cam Thomas doing in the middle of the park? Not picking his man up. They do miss the shot, though. So the Bucks have let us off early, despite our pretty poor start offensively. Johnson's open for another 3. If he can't miss, or if he can't hit, I was going to absolutely slate him for it, but he heard my call and he scored the bucket. That's his first make of the game. On his 3rd attempt from downtown, it's Lopez on the outside to Jay Crowder. Picked up by Thomas, and now Dame. Open lane here for the Bucks. They don't have anyone inside. Now Lopez goes there. Dame will fling it across court to Beasley, who shoots over Bridges. It's off the board by Cam Johnson. The Nets will push the pace again, but the Bucks are well held up and they get in front. Thomas pulls up for 3, and that rims out. Portis is in the game, with Giannis having gone to the bench on the previous timeout. Portis to the corner for Beasley again. That's too easy. I don't know what Cam Thomas is thinking there. Yet again allowing an open shot, 1 pass away. Noah Clowney's on the bench. Oh my goodness, we're getting early Clowney minutes. Claxton, pump fake. He was fouled by Lopez, and we're getting free throws for Nic Claxton. But Clowney is checking in. And we were calling for some Clowney minutes, and I think with the Finney-Smith absence, Jalen Wilson hasn't really played recently. I love this by Kevin Ollie. And it's absolutely criminal that he has not gotten much run this season. So, free throw for Clax. First one rims out. Clowney's going to check in for... Well, first DSJ is going to check in. And I believe he's going to send Schroeder to the bench. Cam Thomas is going to the bench, and Clowney is still on the side. I don't know what he's doing. Looks like Schroeder hasn't gone to the bench yet, which is a bit of a dumb idea considering Cam Thomas has been our only offensive source really early on. Blacks at the free throw line, missed the first one, and he's got a fair bit of shit to deal with behind the basket, but he scores the second. Pat Connaughton is into the game for the Bucks. We have had 7 minutes elapse in this opening quarter, and the game is tied at 12. Connaughton, Dame, layup is good. I don't know why Clax didn't even try contest that. because he probably has a nailed on block if he doesn't foul. Bucks up 2. Schroeder, drive, kick out. That is just... The Cam Thomas-less minutes are going to be just absolutely woeful. Tell you what, Mikal Bridges he just looks so horrible on defense. Like, he looks like he's giving up on half the possessions, bro. He just lets him bypass so easily. Dame, Clowney's in the game and he's guarding Dame first assignment. Lopez guarded by Johnson. We're playing Clowney at the 5. I fucking hate this. He's just gonna... They're just gonna cook. They're gonna kill here. Dayron on the bench. I think he's fit. It's interesting they brought Clowney in first. He's just, like, this team is too lanky. It's not big enough. Bridges, the fadeaway too, is short again. I say that even though he's only taken 2 shots, but bro cannot make a basket recently. He shot all right from 3 last game, but... You need... I honestly would love to see what would happen if you had Dayron in the game with Clowney. Great defense by Clowney. Dame lost it, got it back and scored. Nothing you can do about that from a Clowney perspective. It looks like we're getting a timeout at the 3:38 mark. Clowney is a gun, but I'm like... The issue with Dayron is him playing drop coverage. Now, if he's guarding Lopez on the outside, Lopez is pretty slow. Like a slow mover. So you have Dayron on the outside guarding him, but then you have Clowney manning the middle against a potentially smaller player. Or like a Portis or a, I don't know, Pat Connaughton or something. I don't know, just try something different because, like, the amount of times we try to cookie cut these slim-built centers into centers or slim-built power forwards into centers is ridiculous. I mean, granted, Claxton was a center out of college, but... You know, you probably had a bit of potential playing him at the 4. But we've tried to play him at the 5, and it's probably not the most ideal sort of situation. I just want to see some Claxton Clowney minutes. Like, we saw Clax be an absolute defensive monster when he had good defensive players around him. I want to see Claxton and Clowney at some point in the back end of this season getting a bit of run together. And today's a great excuse for that. Like, play Dayron off the bench or something, and then when you need to bring Claxton back in, bring Clowney in with him. That's just my personal take on this all. The timeout's being called, though. The Nets struggling as per usual offensively. We're just a bit fortunate the Bucks haven't made their shots early, because I'll tell you what, this game's gonna get pretty ugly if this is just the sign of what we're going to see for the rest of the game. Because right now, no one can fucking buy a bucket at the moment. I won't show the box score until quarter time. We're sort of closing in on that. But, like, it's as soon as Cam Thomas goes to the bench. The Nets are 4 of 14 from the field. Amazingly, only down 6, having conceded, well, an opponent field goal percentage of 53%. They're 1 of 6 from deep. Have looked after the basketball, but 12 points in the paint to the Bucks to our 4. That's a problem. So bro, what are we doing? So I've just heard on the broadcast, Dorian Finney-Smith got an injection in his ankle. If his ankle's not good, don't rush him back. The season is done. I'd rather see Clowney play. It's actually an excuse to ensure that Doe doesn't play the rest of the year and lower his trade value. DSJ, the wraparound pass was well read by Portis, who had rolled over from the corner. Here is Portis now. This is just one of the shittest lineups I've ever seen. Lopez and Portis are both... Oh, no. We've got to box out. Thank you, Lonnie. Portis is down. It's a 5-on-4. If you can't capitalize here, it's a travesty. And Mikal can't make a fucking shot. But Clowney batted it back out and recycled the possession for the Nets. DSJ was open top of the key for moments. Walker in the corner. Rises up and misses. Another clank. Pat Bev is in the game. Kicks it back out to Dame and now Lopez. Back to Dame. Back to Lopez in the middle now. Shoots off one leg and scores for two. That's something out of the book from his Nets playing days. A shot that you would see more so than not with him in that time. The Bucks have gone on an 11-1 run, and it's no coincidence. It's come when Thomas has gone off. Bridges finally gets a bucket to go, and it was off the back of a Patrick Beverley block, which fortuitously landed in the lap of Mikal Bridges. He scored the wide open two in the mid-range. That's his first point of the game. The Nets only have 14. Portis in the mid-range. That's good as well. Walker. Now Johnson on the outside. Bridges. High screen. Clowney. Lob. Clowney, the completion of the play. First 2 points of the game. Bro, Clowney has not done anything wrong in these first few minutes yet. He will not get minutes for the rest of the year. It's an absolute joke how we handle this. Yet again, Dame has been caught up in a Clowney contest. Bridges for three in transition hits. And we've converted defense to offense in the last couple of possessions, which is nice to see. And it's Clowney again. This is just rubbish, the way we've managed Clowney this season. Especially when the season's really been gone for the last 20 or so games. Clowney on the outside now guarding Damian Lillard for the third possession. And then forces a turnover. The pass is wayward. The Nets have the numbers. Lob. Clowney, that's a terrible pass. What the fuck, DSJ? Had open numbers on the wing. He just had to swing it to Cam Johnson, who was wide open. Instead, he threw up an absolutely egregious lob attempt. So 22-19, we're inside the final minute of the first quarter. And fair to say, the Dame's been locked up early on. Mikal's got 5 points now. And the 3 rebounds, but I'd much rather he has a better defensive showing than anything. He's guarding Pat Connaughton on the outside now. Screen by Giannis, who's in. Kick out, knocked away by Walker. Connaughton the drive. The layup. Oh my god. Didn't get the angle, but Clax tried to get across to block the shot. Instead, didn't get the balance right, and he's just allowed Giannis to easily put it back up and in. This is what I don't get. Send Johnson to the bench and play Clowney at the 4. It doesn't make sense. Mikal just lost the ball, and it's going the other way. The 24-19. We're in the final sequence of the first quarter. Bucks up 5. They've led by no more than 8. Connaughton, the drive, the pass to Giannis. And he gets the score to go. 4 seconds to play. What can the Nets do here? They give it to Mikal Bridges, and he pulls up from way downtown. That is just terrible out of here. But I don't really know what Cam Johnson is doing playing the entire first quarter. Just doesn't seem necessary. But that is quarter time. Nets are down by 7. And yet again, their offense is basically the main pioneer of their woes. 26-19 is the scoreline thus far in the game. And, 9 points for Giannis, 6 points for Lopez. Dame's had a few troubles. He's already had the couple turnovers. He does have the 3 dimes, but he's been clamped on numerous occasions there by Noah Clowney. The Bucks are shooting very, very well. Turned the ball over a few times. They've only made the 1-3, but it doesn't matter when you're shooting 52% from the field and you're holding your opponents to 19 points. You're going to be in front most games. We've seen 6 from Cam Thomas. We've seen 5 from Mikal Bridges. and Cam Johnson's got 3 as well. But there's really not too much to talk about here. The Nets are shooting like absolute dog water, and they've turned the ball over more. So it's actually a bit of a miracle with the way they've shot the ball. That they're only down 7. But I guess it's a plus that players like Noah Clowney, even though there's no blocks or steals, he's done a pretty good job when he's had to guard some decent offensive talent in Dame, for example. So, yeah. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well if you were new. We'll be back next week for Nets Bulls. And then in between them, we're doing some neutral games. Or 1 or 2 neutral games. We're probably going to be doing Nets versus the... or not the Nets. We're going to be doing the Cavs versus the Timberwolves, I think, tomorrow. So if that's something that interests you, you're more than welcome to tune in then as well. Okay. Alrighty. Second quarter of action about to get underway. Nets are down 7. And Cam Thomas is back in. Claxton is also in. See, this is what I don't get. Who are we playing at the 4? Watford. Rather have Clowney at the 4. Doesn't really make sense. Clowney had some great minutes off the bench. We played for 4 minutes, bro. Oh, Cam Thomas allowing offensive rebounds. What's new? And the Bucks miss the 3. Claxton gets the rebound and gives it to Cam Thomas. So a couple of misses early for the Bucks here in the second. Cam Thomas, the bounce pass to Walker in the middle, who has open space, went behind the back. It was too saucy for DSJ, who's fumbled a couple of passes. Walker gets inside. The scoop is good. The soft touch. And that's incredible craft at the basket with so much intention on the inside. And when we can't score buckets and we have trouble dealing with the interior presence of Milwaukee, these players are so valuable. And Lonnie Walker is able to get us on the board here in the second quarter through 2 bodies. So, good start to the second, I guess, by the Nets. Connaughton on the outside now to Pat Bev. The jab step in the 3 is off. Giannis gets the offensive board. How the fuck are you supposed to defend that shit? It's such a lucky landing spot for the rebound. Giannis just seems to be in the right place at the right time. I mean, I don't think Clax could have done much. Thomas scores the 2. The reverse. It was a great cut backdoor. Good find by the Nets to see him under the basket. I think it was DSJ with the dime. Portis to Giannis. Open 3 on offer. Shoots and is short. The board by Claxton. And the Nets can cut into the deficit just a little bit more. Thomas is open. Drove. Shot fading away. And he scores for 2 more. Just like the Nets did in the first quarter, they've started the second with 4 straight. And now the Bucks will play through Pat Bev here. The cross gets inside to Giannis. The kick out to the corner for Green over Thomas. Yes. Who is that guy? 60 overall. Walker to Watford. Claxton to Walker. Got a screen off the ball. I don't know who it's on. But it will be Nets ball on the side. Down 6. $9:40 to play. The drive, the kick out to Watford. Thought about the 3. Thomas is trying to get freed up here. Good screens off the ball. The lob. And that lob was way too high for Clax. A turnover. Green pulls up for 3. That is ridiculous, bro. Who is this guy? Oh my god. Just a nobody. Who is he? How many points is this guy averaging on the year? I know he's been scoring a few buckets lately, but really, who is this guy? Who does he think he is? I'm going to have to do a little bit of surface level research here because this is just ridiculous. AJ bloody Green. Have a look. Okay. AJ Green made 6 points off the bench for the Bucks in 3 minutes. We don't have any sort of player that can do that. The Bucks had made 1-3 the entire first quarter, make 2 in about, 1 minute. This guy's averaging 4.5 points a game on a 42% field goal percentage. And in his last 10 is shooting 33% from deep. So on brand. Even though in the regular season he's shooting about 41% from 3. I mean, he's not taken that many shots. In their win against Philly, which we saw a couple of weeks ago, he scored 14 points. But then he's had games where, like against the Kings, against the Warriors, where they got smoked, he was 1 of 6. And then yesterday against Boston, where they lost, he had 8 minutes and didn't score. So it's like typical sort of performance against the Nets. Typical. He had a Clippers game where he scored... No. He had a game where he scored 28 points against Minnesota, but they lost by 24. But realistically, he's only had this season 1, 2, 3, 4 games where he scored more than 10 points. Alrighty. So 32-25, early going second quarter. The Nets got within 3, but then 2 successive makes thereby. AJ Green has given them that 9-point lead. Alrighty. So 9:17 to play in the second quarter. Bucks lead by 9. Thomas on the outside, the screen by Claxton. Wilson's in the game. What is this lineup, bro? Thomas has not passed the ball the whole possession and misses the 3. And now it's a 5-on-4 because Wilson was on the deck. The trailer was Pat Bev. We got Schroeder guarding Portis under the basket and Claxton on the outside guarding Beverly. What a travesty that is. Skip pass. Green is wide open. What is Watford doing? That's just terrible defense. What was the idea behind that? That's just simple fundamentals, bro. Schroeder, extra feed. Claxton takes a dribble and he scores over the top with the hook. With the left hand. Ends the run there. A 9-0 run only scored, with all the points scored, by AJ Green. Second leading scorer in the game. Portis, we sag off, but a short jumper there by Bobby Portis, and now the Nets can cut it back to single figures. Claxton rolls, takes a dribble. Oh, you're joking, mate. Pat Bev guarding Claxton, and Clax just mows him over. I swear in these situations, he just doesn't know what to do. He gets caught doing that shit way too often. Crowder's back in. 10-point game. Well read by Watford, but he wasn't able to get the steal. So 37-27, Milwaukee lead. Looking for Giannis under the basket. Instead, the pass is rolled out to Connaughton. Takes it inside. What is Cam Thomas doing again? The defense this quarter has just been absolutely shit. .12 lead. Schroeder to Watford. To the corner for Wilson. Drive. Kick out. Thomas is open. Kick out now to Schroeder. Misses. Clank. Watford couldn't get the tip in. And, bro, where the fuck is Clowney? Our defense has been shit the whole quarter. Clowney was getting a few stops for us. Portis misses the 3. Dayron's not playing tonight, it seems. Thomas gets through. We've got a foul. Dayron's just not played tonight. .647 a play. 39-27 the score. Thomas on the outside. The drive on Green. He's caught up. Has to kick it out to Wilson. And he travelled. Goodness me. God, we're going to be lucky if we crack 80 points this game, to be honest. That's turnover number 7. And how wonderful that we have to see Dame enter the game for the Bucks and Mikal Bridges enter the game for the Nets. Pretty dire stuff. Giannis, open man. Portis blew the dunk. He's had an absolute stinker this game. Usually he absolutely tortures us. Then he knocked the ball away. Green got his hands dirty and got the steal. That's some shit that we've lacked. Giannis, the kick out of Portis, did not shoot the 3. Perhaps a little bit hesitant. Lacking a bit of confidence. There we go, though. He shoots the 3 and he's short again. Wilson. Dame is on the last line. The layup by Wilson is good. And we cut it back down to 10. Beverly. Early offense. Good closeout by Wilson. Thomas knocked it away. So they were trying to shovel it to Portis under the basket, but it was cut off. It's going to be Bucks ball on the baseline. Portis has had a stinker for the most part. .39-27. We've exceeded the halfway point of the second quarter here. Beasley back in for the Bucks with Lopez. They've basically got all their starters back in. Crowder checks in. Gonna inbound it to Pat Bev. What a set play. Dame was wide open, could not make the 3. So Thomas will use that Claxton screen on the wing and he'll take it inside. He'll pump fake shoot over the top. Tough make over Lopez. Gets the lead back down to 8. High screen. Dame will drive it in. Protects the space well without extending. And that's way too easy again. That's probably saying a bit about Dame. Bridges pulls up for 3. It does not get the bounce and the board by the Bucks. That is just terrible one-and-done offense. Dame, quick 3. Yes. So 13-point lead. Johnson getting ready to check back in. I just don't understand why Clowney's on the side. What on earth is Wilson doing, mate? I thought he was going to shoot the 3. He's passed it to Claxton, who was out of bounds already. On the baseline. That's just an absolutely bizarre foul, and it's only taken until now for Clowney to check back in. Are we going to see some Claxton-Clowney action here? Let's have a look. Claxton remains in. Clowney's getting ready to check in, but I just don't understand. Because Johnson came back in. He's definitely going to send Claxton to the bench for no fucking reason whatsoever. Stop playing fours at the 5. Lopez from way downtown. I can only fucking dream that our Nets players would be hitting shots like that. 16-point lead, just out of absolutely nowhere. And that's the problem with all these Nets games in recent memory. Clax, honestly, just shoot the 3, Clax. Here he is now. He's going to shoot with the left hand and score. 14-point lead, but fam, get Clowney in with Claxton and see what happens defensively. Layup missed by Pat Bev. Wanted the foul as he body bumped. Bro, we have the numbers. What is Johnson doing fucking setting a screen? At least we got a dunk under the basket. Good work by CT. There's a 2-on-1 under there. And then it's cut it back down to a dozen, but I just don't understand. Clowney is a decent defender. Claxton is a good defender. You're only going to win this game if you play good defense. Not do that shit where Lopez has launched another one from about 5 feet behind the line and he hits again. 7 threes for the Bucks. We've hit 2 the entire half. That's really all you need to know about this Nets team in recent games. Cannot make a fucking 3-pointer for dear life. And that's why they can't even crack 100 points. Dame behind the back. Switch. Bounce pass. It was knocked away, yet somehow ends up with Dame, who shoots from basically the logo and hits the 3. What are you going to do about that? What on earth are you going to do about that? Kevin Ollie can clap all he wants. Bro, you can't make a fucking shot. That's just embarrassing, dude. We basically just watch this team get pantsed every single game these days. There's so many better things you could do with your time, honestly. And I only do this because I think it's just a habit at this point. Cam Thomas is a good player to watch, I guess. He's shooting the ball actually pretty well. Hasn't made a 3, though. And then, yeah, there's really just nothing else. There's a whole lot of shit on this roster, man. At the moment. Like, what are these percentages from 3? When we're fucking fielding Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges for what? 2 of 7 from deep. Schroeder's been a non-factor on offense tonight, aside from the 4 dimes. Turnovers, just been so prone to conceding those, and they've been really stupid ones as well. The Bucks have got 12 from Lopez, 12 from Dame after a first quarter, which probably left a bit to be desired. But look at the percentages of those 3, and you look at the percentages of supposedly our best 3 players. 2 of 6, 1 of 4, 5 of 9. Like, what's really what is there in that? Sorry, it's just a joke. And that's with Nets killer Bobby Portis going 1 of 8 tonight. And he's actually nearly attempted their most shots. They're shooting 50-40. Silver lining is we kept them off the line, but who gives a shit? I'd rather send them to the free throw line with the ease in which they've been able to score. They've only had the 3 turnovers in the entire game. I don't think they've had 1 in this quarter, so that really sums up how they've gotten this huge advantage. Really. Clax is a good center if you don't have fucking traffic cones on the outside. Too many times Clax gets sucked into having to contest the ball carrier because the bozos on the outside can't keep up with their man. And it just instantly becomes a 2-on-1. Like, these guys can hit 3s all their life, and we just cannot do shit at all. We look hopeless from the outside, I tell you what. 2 of fucking 12, and we've taken Clax off for Clowney. Do they just not think Clowney can make shots on the outside? Because I think he's like a 34%... He's a 34% shooter from 3 in the G League, which is respectable. I think it's a little bit below average, but it's better than what fucking Cam Johnson is shooting tonight. Here's Mikal for 3, and he actually hits a 3. I thought that was a nailed-on miss there. It looked like it had no lift. But Mikal's got 8 now. Just going to have to start making more 3s if you want to even have a sniff in this game, really. I wouldn't say the defense has been bad in this half, and we've still conceded this many points. That's way too easy again. Like, just an open man under the basket. No net actually taking responsibility. Here's Clowney for 3. It's off. I don't mind him taking him, though. Here he is again. He was open. Mikal's also open, and he misses. That's the difference between one team and the other. We have a 5-on-4 break and pull up for 3 and miss. They're scoring contested ones from way behind the line. Nothing you can do about that 3. Right in the face. He's made 3 consecutive 3s. If it's not going to be Lopez, it's Portis. If it's not Portis, it's AJ Green. If it's not AJ Green, it's someone else. Lopez got 15 in the first half. He's leading the way points-wise. Clowney to Schroeder. Clowney rolled to the rim, but they're playing a bit of zone, so that was blocked off. Schroeder to Clowney. Oh my god, you can't make this shit up. You cannot make this up. Bro, you can't make this up. Schroeder passed it off, fell over, cleaned up Clowney in the process, which was the man he passed it to. You can't make up this shit. You cannot make this shit up. Clowney's picking up Dame here. Drive, extra feed. Clowney does well there. The numbers collapsed. We got a steal. And now Bridges down the middle to the corner for Johnson. If he doesn't make this, you're a terrorist. He makes the 3. We just don't see that like at all in this run of games. Play good defense, run the break, actually score 3 in transition. Barely see it. Giannis travels, I think. 49 seconds left here in the first half. We've shipped off 32 points to this stage of the of the second quarter. Schroeder is going to run the clock down a little bit. We've got a 2-for-1 use here available. Schroeder gets by and wasn't too happy about it. So 36.3 left. So 36 seconds left here in the second. And Nets will have to inbound from the side here because the foul was on the floor. Inbounded. Thomas just got shoved out of play and they've... Yeah, that is so on brand for the Nets. Have a chance for a 2-for-1 execution. Throw it into Cam Thomas who's getting pressed and you fucking turn it over because he fell out of bounds. Typical. Dame, good defense by Clowney. Look how much length this guy got. He forced the pass out to Beasley, and that's good play by Clowney. Do not understand why you don't give this guy fucking minutes. Like, Dame couldn't get a shot up because Noah Clowney was there. I don't know why we've taken this long to fucking play him. He's open for 3. And he hits the 3. Where the fuck has that been all season? Playing bums over him. That's just an open fucking runner. What is Mikal doing? I think he wanted a foul out on the perimeter because they had a foul to give, but instead, they didn't call the foul. And let's have a look. Let's see if he did commit the foul. 100% he fouled him. Right in front of the referee's eyes as well. We're down 16 at the half, but I tell you what, I mean, bro, Noah Clowney, telling you we've got something there. We've definitely got something there. 100%. That's where my optimism stems from. Players like that getting some opportunity. Clowney is probably one of the only reasons for optimism in this game. Because my goodness, the offense has been dog water, but I tell you what, Clowney's been a ripper. The Nets are actually a +1 when he's on the court. And there's no coincidence behind that. He has played a very good half. He's almost been one of the best net players on the court. The net starters actually haven't had an awful showing either. Cam Thomas has got 12. Schroeder's got 5 dimes. He's the only net to not score. Otherwise, every net starting has got 6 or more. Clax is getting cooked out there. I need to see him on the court with Clowney. Seriously. Because if we're gonna have any sniff of winning this game, you're gonna have to hold the Bucks to under 50 points in the second half. And the only way that's gonna happen is if you have defensively oriented players like Noah Clowney on the court. It's a fucking no-brainer. 3-point percentage did go up in the last few minutes. Clowney contributing to one of those. The Nets were 2 of 12. In their last 5 shots, they made 3 of those. So the Nets are shooting 47% overall. Not too bad. It's the turnovers which have absolutely destroyed us in the first half. 11 turnovers, bro. And 5 players have got 2 or more. Or have got 2. And it's the ones that are more ball dominant as well. Bridges, Thomas, Schroeder, DSJ. Accounting for 8 of the turnovers. So second half, they've just got to simply be more responsible with it. And then from a Milwaukee perspective, you got 15 from Lopez. He's been chucking up absolute bombs from deep. And he's been converting. And then Dame got 12. He's got 8 assists in the game. He's had 3 turnovers, though. So probably wants a little bit more responsibility in that regard in the second half. Giannis got 11, but not really his most assertive self. He doesn't really need to be. And then off the bench, AJ Green hit all 3 of his trays. The Bucks are shooting excellent percentages from the field. They've had 8 more shots. And they've had 6 less turnovers as a primary reason for that. So that is the half in the books. And the Nets trail by 16 points. In the first 2 meetings, we actually played... Well, we got smoked in the second meeting. But in the first meeting, that was the game where we rested basically everyone. Had Mikal, Royce O'Neal, and Cam Thomas active, but decided to not play any one of those 3. And we ended up losing by only 4 points. Absolutely abysmal in that respect, the way we managed that game. Let's just have a quick look back and see who scored the points. No. Oh, no, that was No, so this was the very first meeting, sorry. This game, we had 31 from Mikal and 45 from Cam Thomas, but Dorian Finney-Smith blew a layup. I remember that game very vividly. And Lopez had 4 points. How times change. But it was the second meeting, I believe, which was the stinker. Let's have a look. Hang on. Team comparison. Here we go. The second meeting, we were actually in the game nearly every step of the way. You can see we lost the game by 22, but got outscored by 14 in the last quarter. In that game, we had 21 from Jalen Wilson, 12 from Armani Brooks, 17 from Watford. Clowney had 14 points in the game. Shooting, what? He was shooting 6 of 9. Negative 19 in the plus-minus, of course. But we had starters active. Even Day'Ron Sharpe was active. DSJ was active. Cam Thomas, Bridges, O'Neal started, but they played the first quarter and then pissed off. I don't really understand the reasoning behind that. But since then, really since that game, because we were 15 and 16 at that time of year. It's just gone really downhill since that point. Um, so the Nets, I mean, it's been a very low free throw sort of game. The 3-pointers, I mean, the Bucks have made a ton of lucky ones. Let's be honest. Those are the practice sort of shots. You know, you're really not trying to jack up 3-pointers from way downtown like they are, but yet they're still hitting them, and they're at 45% from deep. Because one of their attempts just got chalked off. One of the ones they missed. Yeah. So it's been a ridiculous downhill trend for this Nets team. I tell you what. In the second meeting was when everyone was benched. Yeah. Bucks have been mid since their 6-game win streak. I mean, I don't think they really care. I think they'll just be... They're probably more looking ahead to the playoffs. I mean, they definitely do have a position to play for because they're only a game ahead of the Cavs. So every win's going to count for, well, what team they play. But there are pretty good opponents anyway. Suiting up in the playoffs. I don't think it's... I think when you look at both conferences, it's a very similar, very, very similar sort of... very similar in terms of parity, like how equal a lot of teams are on the playing field. There's a lot of good talent, all the way down to... I mean, in the East, it's probably a little bit less deep. You've got like the Warriors, the Lakers sort of basking in the 9-10 spots. And then you've got in the West, or sorry, the East, it's the Hawks and the Bulls really occupying those spots, and they're nowhere near as good. So, I don't think they're really going to make some noise. But outside of those two teams, basically all other 18 teams in the East and West combined, I think, are going to show something. And there'll be some really good series. If we just look at the other stats for the Milwaukee Nets game, make sure to drop a like if you are enjoying as well. We'll be back here, I think, tomorrow for not another Nets game. We'll be doing Cavaliers Minnesota. So if you want to tune in for that, I think that's going to be a pretty entertaining game. Make sure to do so. The Bucks went on an 11-3 run later in this quarter that we just had passed by. They also went on a 19-6 run for a 6-minute stretch. So yeah. And even still, we're still shooting at 46% from the field. It's just the turnovers that are killing us more than anything. We're facilitating well, 13 dimes already, but offensive rebounds, pretty similar. The points off turnovers, they're killing us 14-5, understandably. They've had 10 more points in the paint, but amazingly, more than half their points have actually come from the 3-point line, which in the first quarter, they only hit 1 3, and then they went 8-14 in the second quarter, so that really spearheaded their 34-point quarter. The fast break points are even, second chance points basically even, so those categories we usually get torched in, we're not. But there's a number of other categories we're getting put to the sword in. So, second half, I mean, there's going to be, well, we're going to have to work pretty hard to get back into this contest, I'd imagine. And we've also got to bank on Giannis and Lopez and Dame and all these players not having good second halves, which, I mean, that's wishful thinking because you're wishing on all three of those guys bombing out. I don't think we're going to see that. Yesterday, they did play, though. It took a last quarter comeback in order for them to have a sniff. And they got real close, actually, but unfortunately didn't get the W. Alrighty. We need. I just beg, second half, play Clowney at the 4. Play him at the 4. Play him at the 4, and then play someone. Play just a center at the 5. I just want to see what that does for us defensively. We can't score as is. So just try something different. See if you can turn the clamps into fast break possessions. Because usually that's probably going to give you a higher chance of winning. Yeah. I don't know. Second half is just going to be an interesting one to see what rotations is rolled out. Noah Clowney, though, has been an absolute, even though the stats don't indicate it, he's been a star in this first half by net standards. The 5 points, one of those is a 3. So I did say earlier in the quarter, even though he's a 34% three-point shooter, you got to respect him. He can hit the shot. So I don't know why we don't play Clax at the 5, send Clowney to the corner, and then on defense, you just send them... Sorry, I can't speak. You just send them to the Claxton Correctional Facility. The Clowney and Claxton Correctional Facility. Especially when you got a number of nets being passengers on defense. You need as many defensive stalwarts as you can. And if you have Clowney and Claxton on the floor, that's 2 switchable centers that can probably guard guards. That's like a second, good luck trying to switch onto a favorable matchup with those 2 in the game. So, look, I don't know what this second half has got to hold, but I just want to see a few, if it's not going to be Claxton, let it be Sharp. I just want to see what that looks like. Alrighty. I would assume the second half is pretty close to starting up. Let's have a look at what people are saying. I couldn't believe people try to defend this roster. Here's the thing. It's like we are 15 years removed from the way we started the year. That seems so far away. We started the season 13-10, and since that point, what was that? 23 games in. We're at the 70th game now. We've won... How many? What are we? 26 wins now? So it's taken us... It took us 23 games to get to 13 wins, the first 13 wins. The second 13 wins have taken 47 games. That is shocking. There was no Giannis versus the Celtics last night. We'd probably win there if he plays. If they would have rested him tonight. Other podcasts and people who are Nets fans, they truly believe that a superstar will come here and save them. I think people are beyond that take. Why would they come here? Look at this roster. Yeah, I don't think... I think a lot of people have come to the realization now. That, yeah, the team just needs a hard reset. in the middle of the season, it could have gone one of two ways. You started to pick up a few more wins in the win column, and your players started to pick up the form, and obviously the record would look a lot better than what it is now. Or you don't make moves at the deadline, you keep the players on that are not performing well, and you just go more into a downward spiral, and that's where we are right now. So, yeah. Do you know who JV is? I mean, JV's been gone for months or weeks. So I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but he's not there anymore. But it feels like the curse just continues to linger with him. Bucks get on the board to start the second half. Through Malik Beasley. Like, I don't know if this is like far-fetched as Bridges puts up a 3 and hits. I don't know if this is far-fetched, but I seriously would have started Clowney at the 4. When I saw Doe out, I was actually thinking, keep CJ on the bench. You cannot have CJ at the 4 against a Bucks front court of Giannis and Lopez. That's severely undersized. Beasley gets through, the kick out to Lopez to the corner for Crowder. That's probably the bloke you want shooting the 3, and he misses, and the board by the Nets. Schroeder to Johnson in the corner. Gets rid of Crowder, protects the space, and scores for 2. I wish Clax and Cam go to contenders. This is a mentality that I don't get. Because we're putting him in a bad spot, let's put us in a worse spot. We got a steal here. Clax read the pass. And now Bridges to Johnson, who shoots a 3. And that's out. You can always trust CJ to kill the momentum. What was I going to say? Why should we compromise how we as Nets fans feel for the next fucking 5 years? Because we want other players to... Oh my god, what is Mikal doing? The 2 twins decided to put up consecutive 3-pointers when we've been getting stops. That's an open 3. That rims out. Please get the fucking board! Cam, that's fucking shit. I don't care what you say. CT, box out. You have numbers under the basket. That's one of his major shortcomings on defense. And it's not even the actual defense itself. It's the fucking hustle after the shot goes up. Where he just gets... Like, he's going through the motions. Bridges the drive. He got by Lopez. Easy layup. Good start offensively in the second half. Yeah, I actually want CT and Clax a part of the future. Let's just not say that we want them to go to contenders because we're playing bad at the moment. Giannis misses another hook shot, and the Nets can cut it down here. It's a good start to the second half, I tell you what. Schroeder the drive, takes it in, another layup is good. And I tell you what, there's been no interior defense by the Bucks to start the second half. We scored 9 points in 2.5 minutes, which is a pretty good pace, given we scored 19 in the first and 25 in the second. Dame pulls up for 2 and clanks it off the rim as well, so they can't make a bucket early on in this second half here. Schroeder into the paint. Runner is open, missed it, and there's a foul, and I think it's Beasley who pushed Claxton. It wasn't Schroeder on the shot. JV wasn't even the problem. I promise you, JV was one of the worst coaches in the league. Man wasn't even starting Cam Thomas, bro. Mate, if we didn't get rid of JV, we would be scoring 65 points a game because Cam would be still playing 20 minutes off the bench. Mikal, please do not shoot a 3. Pulls up for 2 in the mid-range, and that is a bad, bad shot. Didn't even lose Jay Crowder at all. It was like a very early timing. Crowder's open for 3 in the corner, and he misses again. They cannot buy a bucket early on in this second half. Bridges is open in the corner. Early offense. Yes! And we have a timeout. It's down to an 8-point deficit. The Nets have come out of the break with a bit of an unprecedented start to the second half. Kevin Ollie isn't even a good coach. I guarantee the Nets will hire him. I agree with both of the things you've just said. Kevin Ollie is not a long-term coach for the Nets, but they will still hire him 100%. I don't want them to suffer because we're a dumb organization. We're a dumb organization, but as I said, I don't want us to get rid of those guys simply because the feelings get too strong. Like, we want them to succeed elsewhere. Why want them to succeed elsewhere when they can succeed here? Or we have the power of getting them to succeed here. Even though we may not see that happen, that's just like... I just feel like that's an overreaction in my eyes. Nets are stringing us along until they can get rid of Simmons. Well, yeah, as I said early in the stream, I think we're just holding out. We're just holding out. These final 11 or 12 games. I'm holding out till the end of the season. We've only got, what, 2.5 weeks? 3 weeks? Look at Detroit. They got rid of Bogdan because they were trash and he deserved to be a part of a contender. I think you mean Bojan Bogdanovic. Even if you are baiting, I'm just going to say it to the people in the back. Cam Thomas is 22 years old, averaging 26 in his last game, and Bojan Bogdanovic is like 30 on a rebuilding Pistons team. That doesn't make sense. The problem is the organization and the players on the team. I've said this time and time again this year. The problem was JV, but it extended far beyond that as well. Accountability needs to be taken on multiple levels. That JV sacking was the first thing that needed to happen. By doing that sacking, you're seeing that we're dropping a bunch of these games. That's exposed a deeper layer. So we've gotten rid of the initial problem. Like, he's not suitable to lead a team that's younger and probably lacks talent. But we're also now aware that Kevin Ollie is not it. We're also aware that this team is not good enough. Therefore, I feel like the change that Sean Marks was trying to put off is going to be fast-tracked. Flax wants to play for the Grizzlies. That's a load of rubbish. He would not have said that outright. The Grizzlies probably are targeting Claxton, but for what? I mean, yeah, we're probably... Well, he either extends with us or he signs with Memphis. I don't know which one he'd probably take the Memphis offer, in all honesty. Dame straight out of the timeout. That is just shocking defense by the Nets. Fucking hell, that is trash. Going under the fucking screen, leaving Damian Lillard, of all players, wide open in about 5 feet of space. That is just horrific. Mikal takes it inside. Well defended by Lopez. Bridges now gets it back here. Of course, he's going to put up another 3 and miss. What a surprise. Him shooting pull-up 3s contested when he hasn't even lost the defender is just dumb. He's not it. Giannis missed the 2. Nets can run the break. Here's Johnson, gets through on Beasley and doesn't make the shot, but Bridges gets the tip in. And they wanted an offensive interference, but doesn't look like the Nets really hit the basket. So 67-58. Dame on the outside. Lopez, lob, Giannis. And Giannis just lost his footing on the way down. Legs taken out from underneath. Jay Crowder's talking a bit of smack to Dennis Schroeder. And... what? I'm so confused what's going on here. So Schroeder said it was on him. Like, he owned up to it. But then Giannis got up, got in his face. Oh, that's rubbish, mate. Are you taking the piss? You're joking. They're going to look at this to see if it's anything more than a common foul. When before Giannis swatted at Dennis's head after the foul was called before. He just swatted at his head. They didn't look at that shit. Of course they didn't. Of course they didn't. But because Giannis is a protected species, that is the softest foul I've ever seen in my life. There's absolutely nothing in that except a common foul. Nothing in that. Should Marks go? Oh, they're looking at it for a player altercation. Yeah, I mean, I would probably be more on the side these days of Sean Marks going and your reset. Clax is pretty mid. I tell you, he's going to be a 20-point, 11 rebound center, sort of like what Jared Allen is now. If he goes to another ball club, I can just see it happen, and he'll be worth every cent. But off this season's form, probably not. He's been far too inconsistent. The Nets don't want to give Claxton the money. I don't buy into reports. I'll only believe it when I see it. I really don't look into the media discourse because it's all like filler. It's all like rumor. It's nothing that's absolutely concrete. So I take it all with a grain of salt. You can obviously... Yeah. I take everything with a grain of salt. I don't really look into that shit too much. Unless it actually happens, of course. Because then, like, it starts unnecessary arguments, if I'm being completely honest. The Grizzlies, it was all of sports media. It came from the Grizzlies themselves. What do you mean it's not true? Well, it probably goes to show how much I'm paying attention. I don't really care. Unless I see Claxton assigned with the Memphis Grizzlies, then I really couldn't care at this stage. I realistically only care about what we're delivering on the court and the players that will be here next season. Literally every time a team comes out and says something, it usually happens. Wouldn't say everything. It's either going to be a hit or a miss. It's always a hit or miss. Like, yeah. Clax and Jar close friends too, if you didn't know that. I mean, as I said, I don't really care if they're mates. I don't care, to be honest, about anything off the court. I mean, I just come here, watch the games. If they're shit, they're shit. If they're good, they're good. If they're shit and they've got good players on it, that means they need a reset. I don't really look much deeper than that. Why is this taken so long? Why has this taken so long? Let's have a look what the referee's going to say. Okay, so we're going to get a free throw. So Schroeder got a tech, but Giannis and Jay Crowder also got a tech each, which means that it's going to be one free throw because two technical fouls to one. Obviously, the Nets will get one free throw because of having one less technical. I could not give a shit, what happens with Claxton until the offseason, to be honest. We'll just see what happens with the rest of the season, and then we'll take it from there. But right now, I'm just dealing with this game right now. Nets are down 9. Had a good start to this second half. Trailing by 9. They've got a technical free throw as well. I don't know if the defense is lifted or the Bucks just haven't made their shots. Johnson makes the free throw at the line. So the Nets have made 15 points here in this second half so far. And the Bucks have only scored 7. So that is why the Nets have given themselves a bit of a sniff going into, well, at this stage of the game, they've given themselves a sniff. They've sliced the lead in half. Lopez the drive, the lob. Claxton sends it away. The steal. The Nets get it ahead. Johnson the dunk. The Nets get it down to half a dozen. And they're very irresponsible with the ball here in this second half. 12-3 run for the Nets in the last 3 minutes. Here's Beasley. And now Dame on the outside, picked up by Claxton. Giannis is in the dunker spot, guarded by Mikal. Dame here is going to step back on Claxton. Tough shot made. And Dame's delivered on a couple of big buckets. Their last 2 makes have come from Dame. Lead back up to 8. Tough shot. Schroeder. I mean, Cam Thomas really hasn't had much to do in this second half either. Thomas, take foul. He scored, but they're not going to call the foul on the shot. It'll be on the floor, side out of bounds for the Nets. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Bulls next week. We're going to be doing a couple of neutral watch-alongs, neutral watch parties tomorrow, and I believe maybe it'll be Sunday in the US, Monday here. Clowney's in the game, playing at the 5. I'm not a fan of these minutes. I mean, Dayron has not played today. I'm interested to see why they keep fucking playing these slim centers at the 5. Walker's in the game. Thomas to the bench. I don't think he scored in the quarter. So the Nets giving themselves a bit of a sniff here. A lot of the role players who were shit in the first half have sort of lifted. Schroeder's going to step back for 3, and that's just not the right shot. Not the right shot when you got Mikal on the catch, Walker who can shot create, Johnson all on the court. Dame misses the 3. Oh my god, you idiots! Fucking dumbasses, bro! Fuck's sake! Johnson and Clowney, 2 blokes, uncontested, fucking fight for the rebound amongst themselves and can't rake it in. Bro, what a joke. You gotta be fucking kidding me. As Cam Johnson, you've just gotta know. Let the bloke get the rebound and vice versa. Fucking communicate. Oh my god. You have a voice. God gave you that voice. Use it. Mate. Does my fucking head in. That's an easy 2 points that we've just fucking given away. Off nothing. Disappointing shit. Tell you what. Bridges to Johnson, who goes inside. Schroeder's wide open on the wing. Yes. Nets offense is better when the ball is popping around like that. You're taking less dribbles. It's much better. That's a foul. And it's on the floor. And it's going to be Schroeder who picks it up. Great find by Johnson on the previous play. The role players have lifted. It is no coincidence this team has played better because the role players have not been fucking passengers. That's the reason. Like, Cam Thomas really hasn't done too much in this second half. But we've still scored a ton of points. Giannis the spin. Good defense by Clowney. And he wanted to travel. At least Cam Johnson wanted to travel. Instead, we're getting a foul. But, bro, Clowney is built different on defense. And he's in his first year. And slim built. No pun intended, but you're an absolute clown if you let this guy go. So Giannis at the free throw line to shoot a couple. The Nets are down 7. But they've bailed the Bucks out in the last couple of possessions here. I'll tell you what. Connaughton is in. Bobby Portis is in for the Bucks. Giannis misses the first. So, second free throw coming up here for Giannis. Bucks leading by 7. Bro, the Bucks average the most free throws in the league, and we've kept them off the line. They've only had 5. Giannis misses both, and Clowney with the board. The Nets can cut it down to a 2-possession game. Fair to say I didn't see this shit coming. Clowney, Johnson, Walker, Schroeder, drive. Oh my god, he lost Dame. The 3 is an air ball. My god. That's like if I try to shoot a step back 3. We needed to test the basket on that occasion. You got to know your time to get a shot up like that. When you're going on a run, you probably know you've got the momentum, but that's not the kind of shot you should be jacking up when you're down 7 and going on a run. Giannis blows another layup, and it's Clowney with the defensive contest. Schroeder, Bridges, Johnson. Clowney's open. He's going to shoot the 3. Oh my god, it rimmed out. That was a full 360 on the rim. Oh, that was so close. That would have been a big shot to make as well. Beverly to Portis, good passing around the perimeter. Clowney stays with again, another steal. Clowney only plays positive minutes. Walker skies over. That's off. The board by Johnson. Gets inside. Bounce pass to Clowney. Schroeder. Walker again. We've had so many opportunities to cut this lead. Have not taken one 2-point field goal in that time. Portis. Kick out. Beverly. 3. It's off. They've scored 11 points in the third quarter. Walker. Schroeder to Bridges. Another 3. He's got that one. Oh, wow. The Nets have all of a sudden decided to wake up. Fair to say I did not see this shit coming. I'll keep saying it because, bro, how many times... Oh my god. What? It's got to be Nets ball. Giannis lost the ball. I think it was partially knocked away by the Nets, but it's gone through the hoop from underneath. Are they trying to see if it went off? Bro, it's gone off Giannis. It's gone off Giannis last. It's gone off Giannis. What? How is it their ball? What? That's gone off them. I don't know the ruling because that is a very rare occurrence to happen. What? That doesn't make any sense. But bro, the Nets have... I said at halftime, if the Nets are to have any sniff of winning this game, they need to hold the Bucks under 50 points. They've held the Bucks to 11 points in the third quarter. Jesus Christ. Fair to say I did not see this at all. Because this Nets team are usually doing they're usually squandering the leads. Or they're getting blown out in the third quarter. Whereas they've made the inroads. And let me refresh. Clowney appreciation post. Seriously, this guy's been a gun. Cam Thomas has not scored a point in the quarter, but the Nets have turned a 16-point deficit into a 4-point deficit in this quarter. Mikal Bridges, we have not seen him play this well since probably the Hawks game. And we did cover a stat pre-game that in only 2 of the last 14 games since the All-Star break, This guy has shot 45% from the field or higher. So we've really struggled, primarily because players like Mikal Bridges just aren't showing up. Today, he has showed up. Even though he's missed quite a few three-pointers, he's made 5. And in a game where you're only 9 of 30, that is massive. Well, our field goal percentage has actually gone down, but here's the big thing. First half, 11 turnovers. Second half, 0. Which is crazy to think. Really crazy to think. But the big thing for the Nets is the amount of turnovers they've forced. If we go to the Bucks box score, they were shooting like 55% at the half and like 45% from 3. Those percentages have gone well down. They haven't been to the free throw line. They've committed multiple turnovers. And from Giannis, Damon, Lopez, they've only got 5 points between them, and they've all been from Damian Lillard. So the Bucks have been clamped well and truly here in this third quarter. So Mikal's third quarter, when we need him to step up, have needed him to step up for like the last 15 games, a few games too late, he's gone and scored 13 here in the third quarter. And we've gone out and scored 23. So he's been massive. Clowney remains in, ball inbounded. Connaughton gets by the defender, gets one up, and missed it. He airballed the shot, and the Nets can get it down to, well, as few as 1. Schroeder the drive, knocked away, and it's going to be Nets ball. So Schroeder's got the 7 dimes. Clowney, again, man, has been brilliant. So okay. So 71 to 67, 2:40 to play third quarter. The Nets outscoring the Bucks 23 to 11 this period. Lax is back in. Why? Thomas is open. Wide open. And he misses. That would have been a big shot as well. We've had a couple open threes here in this third quarter, which you would have loved to have seen go down because of the open nature of it all. Giannis to Green. Why is he open? Why is he open? This fucking 60 overall auto-generated bum has hit 4 threes without a miss. He's had 4 games all season where he's gone in double figures. Who is this guy? He's even got an auto-generated name. Thomas. Spin move on the baseline. It's off. This lead's going to balloon. I can tell you right now. They're going to end up getting outscored by only like 5 or 6 because they're going to go on a late quarter run. Tell you right now. Really should have not made the subs till the end of the quarter, to be honest. Green again. It's off. He knew he missed it. The Bucks got the board. And now Connaughton back to Green. He's going to go again. If you're going to let him miss once, you best believe hope that you don't give him the second chance to hit it. This fucking idiot, bro. Why would you make the moves? We just went on a run. Oh my God. Why the fuck, man? What a fucking way to ruin your good performance, bro. Why are you playing the bums? If I could have played Clowney for 48 minutes in this game, I would have. You're probably wondering why I'm just, like, hyping up a rookie so bad. He's been nearly our best player. Our form has been so optimized with him on the court. It logistically makes 0 sense to bench him when he's played sub 15 minutes in the whole game. It's like you're fucking injury managing this guy. Bro, he's a young kid. He's like 19 years old. He's 19 years old. He's not 35 on his basketball deathbed where he's about to retire. come on, bro. And they bring in this fucking bum, Green. 15 points, 5 of 6 in 10 minutes. This guy hasn't shot this well. Oh my god. Just bums, and we make the terrible subs, bro. The blokes that can't make shots. Like, we sent Mikal to the bench. The one time he's playing well. And now Lonnie Walker's just chucking up bricks, bro. Thomas, Schroeder, Walker again is going to keep firing and missing. Bro, he has missed like 4 shots in 2 minutes. Giannis on the break. It's an easy score. And that's what happens. Now we can't score a bucket. Who would have thought that when Cam Thomas goes onto the court, we start missing? That's another brick. I can't believe this. 2 minutes ago, we were down 4 points. They're about to fucking even it up. Bro, the subs just fucked it up every time. You can never have a game where every player is firing on all cylinders with this team. If the starting unit isn't firing, it's the bench. If the bench isn't malfunctioning, it's the starters. There's never any consistency. There's always issues. So disappointing, bro, because we started the quarter so well. And who would have thought that Mikal Bridges would have actually been spearheading our offense in this second half? Yet somehow, we've only outscored them by 4. Now 3. All because of a late quarter run. The minute we make subs. Who would have thought that Noah Clowney actually has been our best performing center of the night? Don't care how many points Claxton's gotten. He's been fucking dog water on defense. And it's probably a lot to do with the units he's also been involved in. 10-0 run for the Bucks in 2 minutes. Completely taken the wind out of our sails. Thomas, Claxton, inside. He's absolutely blanketed by Giannis. And if it's not Giannis who... Look, I don't think Giannis... Unless someone else committed the foul, Giannis has cleanly blocked that. It's undisputed. Unless Pat Bev did some... Nah, it's Pat Bev. So Giannis did everything legally there. Stayed vertical, didn't interfere, blocked the ball clean. Pat Bev was just there as moral support, and he actually probably... I feel like that's actually going to be an easier call than most will anticipate. I don't know if you watch the Bucks or not. He's been good for them. I mean, the guy just has... He has not scored more than 10 points in any but 4 games. That's going to be a foul on Pat Bev. Bro, he is absolutely interfered with that hook shot right there. For fuck's sake, though, what a waste of a good quarter. Held them to 11 points in about 8 minutes, and we've shipped off basically the same amount in 2 minutes. This is the typical Nets quarter. Typical Nets quarter right there. So frustrating. Because you see so many good signs in this third quarter. Mikal actually playing all right. But now Cam Thomas can't score the ball. You sent Clowney to the bench and Claxton can't play for shit. Yeah. I'm actually really high on Clowney. From what I've seen from his NBA minutes this season... Tell you what, he's going to be good. What are they looking for, man? Clowney's going to be one of those guys where you need to look beyond the box score. You actually need to respect the eye test. All right. I don't know what's going on here. You're fucking kidding. How the fuck was that deemed not a foul? What the fuck was that call? Mate, can we fucking play Clowney at the 4? Jesus Christ. I don't understand why they benched him. They needed to play him at the 4 and play Clax at the 5 if they wanted to bring Clax back in. Instead, they're running now Wilson at the 4. We got the steal here, though. Claxton in transition, easy dunk. Well done, good feed. Whoever got the ball ahead, fair play. Giannis is going to take it the length. He's got 6 seconds. That's like 3 seconds. Wow. Giannis has been blowing layups for fun in this third quarter. Quarter over, 12-point deficit for the Nets to make up. I mean, if the third quarter was an indication of anything, it's that the Nets can make the lead up. They did what they needed to do, but they ended the quarter horrifically. Got the lead down to as few as 4, but then their offense fell flat, and the Bucks got their lead back up. That being said, it was the best defensive quarter by the Nets today, and they outscored them. So I guess that's something to extract, a positive sign, if you will. There's still a long way to go. From a Bucks perspective, Dame scored 5. Lopez didn't score. Giannis only scored like the 2 points in that third quarter, so we held them down pretty well. AJ Green hit a couple of threes late in the quarter. This bum decides to play well. Is he going to be the new Nets killer? I think so. Field goal percentages for the Bucks did go down in that quarter, but they did get beefed up at the back end of the quarter. And then from a Nets perspective, Mikal's got 21. He's leading the way. Cam Thomas has not made a three-pointer. For that matter, no Net can really make a 3. They're 26% from downtown. And the field goal percentage all of a sudden has taken a dip again. But the reason they were able to even out and actually win the quarter was the turnovers. They did not have one the entire quarter. Noah Clowney is a +5. That is a team high. He's been great. 5 points, 2 boards, 1 dime. Lonnie Walker, on the other hand, my goodness, 1 of 7, 0 of 5 from deep. He's been chucking up bricks. DSJ has been a net negative. I don't know what he's doing on the court. But quite frankly, we don't really have any other guards. Only the 5 free throws for the Nets as well. Hasn't been a very free throw heavy game, so I guess we've played into... Well, we've given ourselves a chance by keeping the Bucks off the free throw line. They've had 7 attempts. So that's a win. But the problem is, yeah, the back end of the quarter really killed us, took the wind out of our sails. We're down a dozen, but at least we've got a sniff. We really should have scored more than 25 points, though. I'll tell you what. Missed opportunity right there. Right. Last quarter underway. The Nets will have possession to open this last quarter because they won the jump ball at the start of the game. Thomas is getting blanketed there by Beverly. Good move. And doesn't get the bounce, but Wilson got the offensive board and then was fouled. by Lopez. We're going to have to start the fourth the way we started the third. Go on a similar sort of run. Try get the game on level pegging, really. I don't know why we don't play Watford at the 1 if we really need bench point guard minutes. Watford gets it to go. +1. Nets are on the board to start the last quarter, and they get the lead back down to single figures. Good defense there by the Bucks was met with better offense by Watford. Free throw coming up here, and Clowney is in the game. Stop taking Claxton off with Clowney coming in. Play Clowney at the 4. How many times do I need to say it? Jesus Christ, bro. I would kill to see this. DSJ is playing some good defense on AJ Green. Who would have thought it would come to this? Watford's guarding Dame on the outside. To the corner now for Pat Bev over Thomas. It's well short, the board by Clowney, and he's going to hand it to DSJ. Watford drive down the middle. Layup. Where's the foul? Clowney gets the board. And then Pat Bev, who was trying to... Well, he was a little bit overzealous with it after Clowney got the rebound. Bev was chasing the steal, but Clowney was very strong with it, and the handle meant that he didn't lose it. Clowney gets it in, or gets it from the inbounds. Wilson, drive. With the right hand, it's short. Bucks get the board. Don't really like that shot. We did not give Cam Thomas a sniff on that possession there. Dame the drive. Kick out to Green. Oh my God. Oh wow, that was nearly all the way down. Clowney bats it to DSJ. Drive and kick out. Watford. Thomas was open. Watford instead will put one up and miss. Board by Watford. Missed it again. Got his own miss again. And then got fouled by Dame. That's another team foul by the Bucks. They've committed 4 personals in a minute and a half. The Nets, the rest of the way, will be at the free throw line if they can capitalize on that advantage. You have got to attack the basket at every opportunity. The Bucks cannot play defense. Like, they can't play as aggressive a defensive style because of all those fouls that they've given away early on. Thomas is wide open. We hit the 2 early on. That's his first bucket of the second half, and the Nets are down 7. We've made the first 2 buckets of the fourth, like we did in the third and we did in the first. Time and time again, the Bucks have responded. Dame in a switch. Got Clowney on him. Good defense. The 2 is off. The board by Wilson. Bro, Clowney is clamping. DSJ the drive, the kick out. Clowney for 3. I thought he got pushed. Wilson got the offensive board. DSJ, what are you doing? Apparently scoring 3s. Holy shit. Who would have thought this lineup was going to do work? Thomas, Watford, Clowney, Wilson, DSJ. That is absurd. That is like an all G League lineup almost. The Nets have got this lead back down to 4 at a far earlier point of the fourth than when they got to this point in the third. In the third, they got it down at about like the 3 or 4 minute mark. The Nets have gone on an 8-0 run to respond to that late quarter Bucks run. I'm telling you, Clowney has been elite. He's been elite. The Bucks, their percentages back down again. Giannis has been well held. Cam Thomas scored his first bucket of the fourth a couple of possessions ago. And, bro, the Nets are hustling, bro. They are hustling. Even though we can't make threes for shit, and really the field goal percentage is down as well. The offensive rebounding has been class. And it's something that I didn't expect to see today. But bro, Clowney is now a plus 10. He's taken 4 threes, which is a little bit questionable, but bro has done excellent defensive work. And if I don't see this guy play for the rest of the year, it is a fucking travesty of an organization. This guy is delivering on the NBA stage. You clowns can't see that. And by you clowns, I'm not talking about you lot watching the stream. I'm talking about the fucking idiots in the front office and the coaching staff. Bro, you've got a good player on your hands. Jeez. Appreciate the donation, by the way. Lou Grinds, thank you. Thanks very much for the $1. Appreciate it. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe as well if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Bucks next week. We're also going to be doing a neutral game tomorrow, which will be Nets versus the Nets versus, not the Nets. What am I talking about? The Nets are not playing tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be doing the Cavaliers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's going to be a cracking fixture. This is what I've been crying out for. A fucking competitive performance against a good team. When was the last time this happened? Dame, picked up by Clowney. It's good defense. Dame has not entered the restricted area. The drive, the layup was wild. How has Lopez scored that shit? That's just lucky. That is just lucky. I don't even think Lopez gathered possession of the ball and he somehow was able to muster it up. Thomas into the paint. Shoots another mid-range. Converts another mid-range. It is a 4-point game. 9 minutes to play. 4th quarter. DSJ. Guarding Dame. Wilson. That's got it. What the fuck? How is that not our ball? Mate, Bobby Portis was getting, or was holding Wilson's jumper. He fucking brought him to the floor. Pushed him out of bounds. Somehow, still Bucks ball. I'm baffled. Beasley, why is he open? 3, clank, rebound. That is gonna send us to the free throw line. Jalen Wilson, good box out. Portis has been physical with him, but Jalen Wilson, mate, chip on his shoulder type plays. 8:47 to go. The Nets have fucking knuckled down on defense in this second half, only allowing the 23 points. So, Jalen Wilson at the free throw line to shoot a couple. To cut it to 1 solitary possession. He does that, but he can get 1 more point tacked on at the 8:47 mark. And the Nets continue to surprise in this 4th quarter. I can't believe what I've really witnessed in this second half, to be honest. Who would have thought Noah Clowney's actually going to be one of the key players against the Milwaukee Bucks of all teams? High screen. Dame, the switch again. Clowney is guarding. I get excited every time. That time, though, Dame was able to blow by and get the 2. I just love how he's getting this exposure. Bro is actually, like, he is, oh, wow, Thomas with the one-legged runner. But Clowney he is facing the challenge head on. He doesn't look phased one bit. The Nets have got 14 points in 3.5 minutes. Held the Bucks to 4 in that time. Clowney blitzes. Oh, no, they got open numbers. Beasley. Where did Clowney come from? Man was blitzing on the perimeter and then was there for the contest inside. So a good reading of the game, but Beasley scores over the top. And now Claxton's going to get ready to check in. And the game's going to turn to shit again. Thomas, the drive, gets inside. And Thomas got hit in the face, I think. And the Bucks, well, The Nets are going to be pissed off at this. The Bucks are going to be fine with it. Let's have a look. Was this a foul? He may have been hit by the right boot there. Why the fuck are there Bobby chants ringing around the arena? Bro's been arse in this game. Clowney's out, and I'll tell you what, this game's going to get away real quick. Ball inbounded to Claxton. Body bump, spin move, scores for 2. Lead back down to 2. Now the defense needs to be proper good. Needs to be proper good down the stretch now. I really want to see Clowney at the 4. Giannis is back in. Get him in. Giannis is going to back down Claxton. The kick out to Lopez. It's open. 2 men double him. It's off. It's going to be Nets ball. We can take the lead. I don't even care if we're 16 games under 500. Because I'm watching this game in isolation. I'm ignoring the 69 games that have preceded this. Bro, this is uncalled for, Nets. Oh my God, behind the back by DSJ. Johnson 3. It's good! We got the lead! Oh my God, I finally can experience a bit of joy. If you watch this Nets team enough, you'll experience it. Wilson, the steal by DSJ, the dunk. We got a timeout. I'm gonna fucking relish this. The Bucks are absolutely starstruck. DSJ with the steal. Wilson swoops on it. He's had a fair bit of grit and hustle in this second half, mate. He's beaten so many Bucks to the ball. And the good thing is we're in the bonus. We're in the bonus. We were in the bonus at the 10:30 mark. You have to continue to exploit the fact that the Bucks are living dangerously with those fouls, man. All of a sudden, I'm wide awake. Thought this was a Bucks channel for some reason. I got a Nets cap on, and I got a KD poster in the background, and you thought this was a Bucks stream. You are living the dream. Or, yeah. You are dreaming, should I say. Bucks are pathetic, acting like it was a good loss. Oh, goodness me. It's mainly because I haven't seen a win since the Hawks game, and the Hawks game was all the way back on God knows when. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Bulls next week. We'll be missing a few games because I'm unavailable for it, but we'll be back for Nets Bulls next week, and I think we play the Pacers. Or, sorry, the Lakers. We played the Lakers after that, so we'll be there for both of those games. We may be doing a neutral game tomorrow. Cleveland, Minnesota. Be there. The Nets are on a 23-6 run in the last 5.5 minutes. Who would have thought with a Bucks team that is Dame, Giannis, Lopez, even Beasley, and fucking AJ Green, who's hit 5 of his 6 threes, the Nets are outscoring the Bucks 21-6 in the fourth. That's the second time this has happened in the second half. We went on a 23-11 run in the first half of the second half, so the third quarter, basically making it sound a bit more complicated. Bro, this is unbelievable. This team has sucked so bad. We're outscoring them by 10. We haven't led since the first quarter. I can't believe my eyes. I'm absolutely baffled. As a Nets fan, who do you think is better, the Celtics or the Bucks? Celtics are the best team in the East by a country mile. At least in the regular season, that is. Now, we've just got to hold off the inevitable late Bucks surge that could arise, but we have done everything right to get ourselves back in the contest. We're in the bonus. We've just got to attack the basket. Don't shoot the easy 3. Dame for 3. It hits back on. They get the long board. That's the danger of giving away 3s. Another layup is blown. The Nets get the board. DSJ. Skip pass. Johnson sets the feed. It's off. Wilson fights on the glass. I thought it was Nets ball. Good look. Good look. Mate, I would honestly bring Clowney back in late game. Honestly. Not really any Lopez minutes in this second half. Portis is doubled. Giannis is open. Tries the three. Well, you know what? I don't mind the Giannis three. I don't know what his percentage is from three, but I would say that's probably one you give up. Claxton, good dive to the rim. Fouled, nearly got it to go in the most uncharacteristic of ways. It's going to be 2 free throws here. But we have a ball game. And we were going down sad against the Spurs a couple games ago, but today, it's a different story. We're playing a full-strength Milwaukee team. I mean, they are on the second night of a back-to-back, but they've got everyone, except maybe Chris Middleton available. Clax got to make the free throws, though, man. Mikal has not played the entire fourth as well. I'm a little bit scared because he had a very good third quarter. Did he get the only good quarter he's going to play out of the way? And Wilson, what a fucking last quarter. And he gets the praise from, not Udoka. Udoka. I'm living in an alternate universe. In a universe that should have happened. Ollie gives him the praise. Claxton makes the second under pressure. 1 point lead for the Nets, but they've gotten the stops. I just have a lot of fear that these guys are going to take hold in the final 6 minutes. Giannis, pump fake, kick out to Dame, the screen set. It's an open three, and he's missed it badly, but that's the second time he's missed badly, so badly that they've gotten the rebound. Portis is going to back down Johnson, blows the layup. It's going the other way. I thought Clax had given away the foul. But that is a big, big win for the Nets. Thomas. Early in the shot clock, I don't know how there was no foul call there. He's getting clamped here by Beasley. It's great defense by Malik. Forces Claxton to go himself. Takes on Giannis. What the fuck? We're getting another foul. And it's Giannis who commits it. I thought he'd wrapped him up well prior. It wouldn't have made a difference. The Nets are in the bonus. And the one guy you don't want going to the free throw line is going to the line. This is where all the practice comes into play. I think he's 2 of 4 on the night. Clax at the line, shooting 2 more with 5 or so minutes to play here in this fourth quarter. Clax's first free throw is good. 5 minutes to play. Clax has got 15 and 7 in the match. That's 15.7 boards. Second free throw, takes a deep breath. And the free throw now is good. Converts both. Big plus. Big, big shots to be made. And now the Nets up 3. They've not led by more in this match. Dame, pass to Giannis. Takes it inside. Falling to the floor. The kick out to Dame. Come on, dude. Where the fuck was the travel? Where was the fucking travel, dude? How many steps, bro? He fucking traveled all the way to South America. Let's have a look how many steps he took. 1, 2, 3. What the fuck, bro? Oh my god. On the replay, that looks even worse. But they've committed another foul. I don't know who's at the line this time. That is an absolute joker of a call. What the fuck? It's Thomas at the line, who I have a little bit more reassurance about making free throws, but he fucking bricks the first as I say that. What a surprise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What the fuck, dude? How the hell was that not a travel? What a joke. Thomas makes the second. We are holding on to this slender lead. Schroeder's back in. DSJ goes to the bench. 4:30 to play. Dame for 3. Oh my God. Schroeder fouled Dame. You dumbass. And just when you knew it is a scripted Nets game, it gets scripted even more. What a joke that we gave away 3 points on the previous possession. What a joke. Honestly, I need to see Clowney back in the game for the closing stretch. Not going to lie. We're playing the starting 5 to close, but I tell you what, it has not been the starting 5 who have gone on multiple runs. Clowney's been there for both. Wilson's been involved. Who else are we talking about? DSJ's been involved. I don't know if we're going to win with this starting group, because I don't think this is the group. Good coaches would not go the simple route of running your starters. You see the Bucks aren't even playing Lopez down the stretch. Even though we had a good first half. Bro, Thomas has been decked off the ball in a lockup. The Nets are at the free throw line again. So they are not a good free throw shooting team. This is one of the only times it feels like this year where we've actually been in a severely advantageous position in this respect. Being able to get to the free throw line because we've been in the bonus from like the 10-minute mark of the fourth. Thomas makes the first. So these are easy points. You absolutely cannot leave anything on the table. So Cam Thomas, second free throw coming up here. And he converts. It's all tied up at 96. 4 minutes to play. The Nets trailed by as much as 20. I don't like this. What is Mikal doing guarding Giannis? Now it's Claxton picking up Giannis. Dame is getting picked up by Schroeder. The 3 he skies up and misses. Good defense by Dennis, who was absolutely blanketing him. And the Nets can get the lead again. Thomas nearly passed it off. He's going to try cook on Dame here. Lost the ball. Oh my God. It's like a 5-on-1 fast break. Good luck. Why would you foul Mikal? There's no reason to do that. Oh my God, bro. ISO ball doesn't win you games when you don't have talent. Mate, I honestly think we need to make we need to make subs to get the younger boys back in the game. These blokes got us back in the contest. They should be the blokes completing the job. Giannis is going to get a free throw here. So we could have taken the lead. Instead, we're trailing by 2, potentially soon to be 3. 3:36 to play. Free throw is good. So the Nets are trailing. And I'm not comfortable with this group being able to make up that 3 points plus more. Mikal, Claxton, back to Mikal, shoots a 3. Why the fuck, man? What is he doing? We haven't even tested the paint in this whole, Oh my God. Giannis blows another layup, but you can't get the fucking tip in. What a fucking surprise. When you play with no size, you have Cam Johnson at the 4. What a surprise you can't box out. What a surprise. Claxton's going to get an easy jam under the basket. Miscommunication by the Bucks. But, bro, the defense has looked shitter with Clowney off the floor. I didn't think I'd say that, even though Clowney's been playing in the G League for the last month. We look so much more shaky in there. Wilson was doing a far better job of boxing out Portis under the rim, making him frustrated. Giannis the drive, blows the layup. Look who's there. Giannis getting his own miss. Last 2 possessions, conceded offensive rebounds. You know what we were doing with the youth on the court? Getting offensive rebounds. Johnson to Mikal on the move. The three is good. He gets it down to 2. That's a big shot by Mikal. Redeemed himself there, but that's Mikal's first 3 points since... I'm not actually sure. I think since the third quarter when we went on that early quarter burst. We need to get CJ out of the game. If Kevin Ollie is serious about winning this game, you bring on Clowney or you bring on Wilson. You've given away 2 offensive boards in 2 consecutive possessions. You can't fucking get any stops. You're getting killed for physicality in the last few minutes. That's the reason they lead. They look hungrier. And who was the hungrier team in the first part of this quarter? The Nets. And who would have thought it'd be their youth leading the way? So, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support and drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new. We're doing Nets games for the rest of the year, and we're doing a couple neutral games. Tomorrow we'll do Cleveland, Minnesota, probably. So yeah, that should be good fun. But yeah, I'm getting a really good glimpse into the future though with the Clowney minutes, and Cam Thomas has been pretty good apart from the turnover he had a couple possessions ago. It's so stiff that Clowney's not getting minutes, bro. He's been a gun. DSJ is checking back in. That's the move we make. Don't like that. That isn't resolving our front court lack of physicality. It's just not. This is the issue, and this is probably why Clax can't play as well as his ceiling would suggest defensively, because he's got a fucking bum of a defensive player as a 4. Like, Cam Johnson can't do shit, bro. On the box outs and whatnot. It looks so much worse on Claxton because he's got no fucking help. Giannis on the outside is going to take it inside. Blew the layup. No foul. On the break. DSJ. Schroeder. We got the numbers. Claxton. Oh my God. Puts one up. Missed it. Got his own miss. Oh my God. Loopy pass out to DSJ. What are we doing? Oh my God. Cam Thomas and Bridges didn't even get the fucking ball. Beasley in transition. The 3 is hit. The net didn't even move. Everything wrong with that. Everything wrong with that. Who honestly gave them the green light to shoot that? We had a 5-on-4 and for some reason gave it a Claxton to score inside. We had open 3-point shooters on the wing. For fuck's sake, bro. It's just been these little 6-point swings. We've turned the ball over. They've gone up the other end and gotten the 3 points. We've been in charge of our demise. And you know what? It is the guys that should be playing well and setting the standard which have actually lowered the bar here in this fourth. Why is DSJ and Claxton the guys taking the shots when we're down 2? Like, they shouldn't even have the fucking ball, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, for God's sake, mates. 1:30 to play. We're down 5. Look, of all the losses we've had in recent memory, if there's a loss where I extract a fair bit from, it's this game right here. This has been a pretty valiant performance by the team. It's good to see Mikal's been pretty decent for the most part, but bro, we've been in the bonus for so long. I don't know why we don't attack the rim with our Cam Thomases and Mikal Bridges. Even Schroeder getting inside. He was cooking early in the third quarter, but we've gone with the wrong players to shoot the ball, and we've gone with the wrong shot profile down the stretch. Bucks have been able to run the break a few times, hit some big shots. We led by as much as 3, but starters have come back in for the Nets and actually been worse. So now Schroeder's back on. DSJ's on the bench. But you need stops more than anything. We don't even look like we're going to get stops. So, I'm interested to see if the Nets have one more response in them. because they've had 2 good responses at the start of quarters, but at the end, it's let them down. Schroeder, high screen. He's got an open look. Gives it to Johnson, who pulls the trigger. Oh, my God. This guy sucks in crunch time. He sucks. He is so bad. He's like 18% from 3 in clutch situations. He is trash. Dame is wide open. Schroeder just miscommunicated and sagged off. And the Bucks lead by 7. This is going to do it. Kevin Ollie missed a trick here. He should have absolutely not played his starters to close the game. And they've just fucking thrown it out of bounds. That embodies the Nets' future right there. The future is not with the guys that are starting. Majority of. The same old players making the same old mistakes because you give them the same old minutes and don't hold them accountable the same way. Every single time. The youth in this game, you missed the trick here. They were playing incredibly well, and we're going to end up losing the game now by double figures as Dame knocks down the 3 to basically ice the game. This is your fault. It's your fault for trying to grasp onto something that isn't there. You're trying to force something that doesn't exist. Claxton gets an offensive rebound and scores, but you're down 8. You're not winning the game. Time's against you. Beasley gets it ahead to Portis. There's a foul. It'll be 2 shots for him. But they missed a trick here. They did it all wrong. I understand you got to give you guys a break. But bro, Clowney, I guarantee you did not play more than 15 minutes this match. Like, Cam Johnson should not ever be on the court in clutch time. He's been awful shooting the ball. That's what he's good for. The minute he entered the court, we lost a ton of physicality and the shot selection was always going to be in the bin. You just killed it. Isn't it funny? The reason I got excited about what we were doing this game was because of the youth. The youth gave me something to root for because they played with an energetic brand. They were getting steals, running the break, hitting shots as a result. Good to watch. But then you've got the same old bums that commit to the same old problems. Here he is again. Watch, he'll miss. No, Johnson will actually hit a shot when the game's fucking over. Beasley gets locked up by Bridges when there actually was a steal on offer, low-key. But ultimately, Kevin Ollie, I mean, you've just... Like, someone in the presser has to ask him, why didn't you run the youth to close the game? Because they were the ones that got you in the contest. Look, I will give the Nets team praise for this game. I haven't given them too much praise. I've constantly used the words embarrassing, rubbish, garbage. Yeah. But funnily enough, the reason we weren't as garbage today was because of, well, inserting some fresh blood into the team. You know? Like, Clowney needs to play. I don't know what you need to see from a coaching panel in order to make the conscious decision. Like, I just cannot rationalize why you would keep playing him in the G League when he's doing this against good opponents. He was assigned to Damian Lillard more often than not. We end up losing by 7, but I tell you what, at least I got somewhat G'd up in this game. Because, mate, there's been so many games I've felt down in the dumps. Ultimately, we lose the game. If you are heading out, make sure to drop a like on the way out. But ultimately, we lose 115, 108. We did do the outscoring in the last quarter. It's a shame that we ended the quarter poorly in the third, because that would have given us a real red-hot chance. Especially given the way we started that last quarter. It would have been very pleasant to have a nice, sizable lead. But here we are with another L. The Bucks went out and scored. I think they scored... Yeah, they ended up scoring 34 points in the last quarter. I did say that we need to hold the Bucks to under 50 points in order to win the game. And we were on track for that. Then the starters come in and it all turned to shit. The Nets did score 39 last quarter points, though. That's crazy. Usually we're renowned for having very bad second halves, where one quarter severely anchors us down. But in this game, it was a bit of a different story. We scored 64 points to their 55 in the second half. So if there's anything good to extract, I guess there's that. We ultimately end the game shooting poorly from three, and it's not really surprising. We're being shit from three a ton of the time. Only the 3 turnovers in the second half, that gave us a good chance of winning the game. There were a couple big shots that weren't hit, unfortunately, from a net standpoint. And the Bucks punished. Mikal Bridges shot 9 of 19 from the field, 6 of 14 from 3. That is a much better game by Mikal, and you could see we looked more competitive in the third quarter because this guy was making shots. He hit 13 points in the quarter. So if we're to win games, Mikal needs to perform. He made half of our 3-pointers today. So he gave us a great chance of winning. You just look at the guys off the bench. I mean, Lonnie Walker 0 of 5 from 3. Schroeder 1 of 5. Cam Thomas 0 of 5. Cam Johnson still hit 4 threes, but he didn't hit them when they mattered. It was good to see, though, 4 plays with 17 or more. Claxton got 22 and 9, but I actually would argue that Clowney was the more important big. He ends a plus 10. He was anchoring the defense when we were outscoring the Bucks. He had 5 points, 4 boards, but his defensive work was superb. I'd love to see the field goal percentage of whoever was playing on him. Because, yeah, I wouldn't imagine it would be too high. As we've said, though, time and time again, the 3-point percentage, as long as it is that low, and you've got a few players, like, in this case, 3 players combining for 1 of 15 shooting or 2 of 15 shooting, you're not winning the game, especially when they're shooting them at such a high volume. Overall, though, a good effort. A good effort. Jalen Wilson, I mean, he had 4 points, but he had the 5 rebounds, 2 offensive, 2 assists. You know, he was doing a fair bit in the second half as well. He lifted. And these guys really shouldn't be setting the benchmark, but they were the bench. So I want to see more minutes from Clowney. I want to see him at least having 15 a game. He went under that today. He really should have pushed 20 minutes, which was disappointing to see that he didn't. The Bucks end up with 30 from Dame. Giannis was well held. Only the 21 points, 2 of 4 from the line, so we kept him off the line as well. Good contesting at the rim. He missed a lot of layups, but Dame, it really was Dame time in the last quarter. He hit 13 points and basically led them to the win. If it wasn't for Dame, I am very interested to see what the result of the game would have been, because I don't imagine it would have been as comfortable for Milwaukee if they did win. Overall, we out-rebounded them. They hit 16 threes. That's the big difference in the game. Their field goal percentage was lower than 50%. At about league average, their percentages tonight, but it was sky high in the first half. I think they were 55% from the field, 45% from 3 at halftime. So we did well to peg it back, force a few more turnovers in the second half, run the break, and then ultimately, we were able to get back into the contest, but then the starters came in and they completely killed it. So, look, at some point, you've just got to hold your players accountable and say, Cam Johnson, you've got to go to the bench. We're inserting Clowney into the starting lineup. I tell you what, you need to try that. You need to try it. Clowney is not a 5. He's not a 5. Imagine the versatility, the defensive versatility with Claxton and Clowney starting games together. That would be ridiculous. Like, Claxton would get the help he needs. Clowney can shoot the ball. Probably not efficiently, but Cam Johnson, bro, like, what's he doing aside from making shots less than half the time? Defensively, he's not making that up. The amount of times he got out-muscled late in the game was baffling to me. And that is the very thing that got us back in the game, because Jalen Wilson simply was being better physically on Bobby Portis. And you could tell that Portis was getting frustrated. And he gets heated very easily. So that is something that we really should have capitalized on. But unfortunately, we're very set in our ways, it feels like. And we just run the same blokes every single time that contribute to the problems. Cam Johnson is not a 4. He's not a 4. And he should not be boxing out Bobby Portis. There's no two ways about it. Ultimately, though, I mean, there's positives to take away for once out of a loss. It honestly feels like... Excuse me. It honestly feels like, you know, yeah, out of all the games to get upset about, this wasn't one of them. We only lost by 7, but I think it was more the spirited effort by the guys off the bench that haven't really seen too much time this season. They deserve to play more minutes off the back of the way they played today, but because of their name, because of the money they're getting paid, they're not going to get that time. But if this isn't a sign of the future, then I don't know what is. You know, we've got to, you know, embrace the players like Clowney and Thomas and Wilson and these guys. And I feel as if Claxton would be a better player if you played Clowney at the 4. That's just a personal opinion of mine. We have no sample size to prove it, but I tell you what, you've got to experiment in times where you need to rebuild, and we're in that phase. That's going to do it from me. I hope you enjoyed the stream. We'll be back next weekend for Nets Bulls, and we'll be doing some neutral watch-alongs if that interests you in the time between then. That's going to do it from me, though. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for your support and your chat messages. We will see you next time. But yeah, it's been good. It's been fun. It's been good fun. And yeah, we'll wrap things up here. So we'll see you soon. Stay safe. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, we're done here. Thank you. See you soon. And bye for now.